Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are talking copper peptides. Now, copper peptides are one of my favourite ingredients in skincare. In fact, peptides in general, I cannot get enough of them. And I've really found they've helped me when it comes to my own anti-aging journey. I've just hit 40, and so I need all the help I can get when it comes to lifting, firming, minimising fine lines and wrinkles. And I think copper peptides play a core part of achieving that. However, when it comes to copper peptides, they have so many other uses and applications on the skin. And I think sometimes we're missing out. I'm on a bit of a mission here in 2026 to help people work smarter, not necessarily harder when it comes to skincare. It's not about the total number of products you have, but rather how you use the ones that already fit into your skincare routine. And so in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 phenomenal uses for your copper peptide serum that's going to elevate your skincare results without having to cost you a single penny more. Sit back, relax, let's talk how to use copper peptides. Now, in today's video, I'm going to focus down on the how to use aspect rather than sharing with you my favorite copper peptide serum. If you did want to know that the ones that I currently use in my own skincare routine and the ones I have on rotation, I've listed and linked them all down in the description box below. So if you did want to check them out, read the reviews or make a purchase, then they're all there for your inspiration. All I ask for in return is if you happen to find this video useful and you'd like to see more content like this year, focusing down on the hows rather than the best ofs, then let me know by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. I really do check the like counts of every single video, and the more likes a video gets, the more likely I am to replicate it when it comes to future content. And honestly, it helps me as an independent content creator so much. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. Now, today's video, I want to keep short, sharp, and to the point. We all need to know how to get the most from our copper peptide serum, but I don't think we need a 20-minute video to achieve that. So first up on this list of 5 ways to use your copper peptides is use it on a morning as well as part of your evening skincare routine. Traditionally, most people will reserve their copper peptide application for the evening routine, but I'm here to say use it twice a day because each application delivers something different. On an evening when you apply your copper peptide serum, it's really going to be boosting that collagen and elastin as we sleep, adding so much great anti-aging benefit, minimizing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. But if you use it on a morning, you also harness the benefits that copper peptides have when it comes to being anti-inflammatory and being a potent antioxidant. During the day, the world throws so much at our skin, from pollution, particulate matter, wavelengths of light. They hit our skin and they stress it out. This oxidative stress can lead to premature aging. And so actually, if you use your copper peptides for their fantastic antioxidant benefit on a morning, you're getting 2 times the benefit from the same serum. This is how I like to approach it. We also tend to accumulate inflammation during the day, again, as a result of everything our skin is exposed to. So by using copper peptides, which have anti-inflammatory properties on a morning, it's sort of like providing a bit of a shield, a bit of protection for your skin as we go about our day. On a morning for anti-inflammatory and antioxidant benefits, on an evening for that great anti-aging. Twice a day, the same copper peptide serum will leave you with the very best results. I know a lot of people are probably thinking at this point, we can't use our copper peptides on a morning because you can't use them with vitamin C and exfoliators, things that traditionally we will use as part of our AM skincare routine. I'm here to say once for all, that is absolutely fine to use it alongside all your other actives if you use an encapsulated serum. If you use a serum where the copper peptides are encapsulated, you can use it alongside vitamin C, exfoliating acids without worrying at all. It just really takes the stress out of things. There are 3 key serums that I tend to use with encapsulated copper peptides to achieve this. I like the one by Geek and Gorgeous, their power peptides. I love the Naturium multi-peptide serum. That's also a phenomenal option. And I use the one from my own brand. This is the Mad About Skin copper peptide serum. Encapsulated copper peptides, so you can use them morning and evening without stressing any of the layering and pairing. And those 3 I've linked down in the description box below because I think it's really worth looking into encapsulated copper peptides to just take some of the stress out of your skincare routine and to allow you to use them both ends of the day in order to deliver the maximum benefit. This one by my own brand is currently on 3 for 2. If you place 3 into your basket. When you get to checkout, you'll only actually be charged for 2. My little way of giving back. So it's a great way of minimizing the cost, especially if you're using your copper peptides, twice a day rather than once a day. Obviously, you're going to get through product a little quicker. So shop for something that's a little bit less expensive than some of the bougie options out there. And like I say, at the moment, it's on 3 for 2. Place 3 in your basket, you'll only actually pay for 2 at checkout. But I've linked all the ones that I currently use on rotation down in the description box, like I said. Now, top tip number 2 is to use your copper peptides in the hairline. So copper peptides are amazing for hair density and hair growth. They work in different ways dependent on your gender. So for guys, copper peptides actually reduce the amount of DHT present in the scalp. So applying your copper peptides to the hairline can be a great way of reducing DHT, which is one of the key drivers of hair loss in men. So if you're wanting to use, just elevate your hair journey, then using copper peptides is an absolute great way of achieving that. They don't replace medical grade treatments. So if you're using like finasteride, minoxidil, or any of the other prescription or medical grade products, obviously keep on using them, but you can use copper peptides alongside them in order to double down on the benefits. If you're not on any treatment at all and you just kind of want to experiment with something, place to start, I think copper peptides are a great way of doing it. I've been doing this for the past 2 years and it has made such a difference to my hair density and my confidence. You can look back to some videos of me like 2 or 3 years ago and compare to now if you'd like, and you can use it almost like a before and after. But copper peptides have made such a big difference. In women, copper peptides actually increase hair density. So they don't impact the levels of DHT the way they do in guys, but they will increase hair density and thickness if you use them consistently. So again, the hair will appear fuller. It just makes sense to take whichever copper peptide you happen to be using, put a little on your fingertips, and then just flick it through the hairline. It'll make a difference without having to have a totally separate serum, lotion, or potion. Just elevating your skin confidence, your anti-aging results, using products that you already have. Application number 3, on the lips. So the lips are prone to dryness, they're prone to irritation, and they're also prone as we age to a loss of fullness and volume. Using copper peptides on the lips can really help offset a lot of that. Most copper peptide serums will come with other peptides within them. They have a plumping mechanism. So if you choose a peptide serum that has copper peptides alongside other peptides like this one, I like the one by Allies of Skin, you can use the Geek and Gorgeous Power Peptides. All of these have multiple different peptides in them. Use them on the lips and this will help hydrate. It'll minimize inflammation and irritation and chapping, particularly in those cooler winter months, and it'll also deliver a little extra plumping and volume. It'll draw in some of the moisture, plump it out, and just give you that noticeable little improvement when it comes to the lip area. This isn't the same as having filler or using a plumping lipstick or anything like that, but it will have a noticeable improvement, and this is something that I've really started to do. You only need a tiny amount. I don't like to use a lot because you don't need a lot. So use sort of amount on the finger that I'd say probably that much, just enough to wet it. Put it on the lips and then always seal with an occlusive balm on top in order to lock everything in. Again, I use the one from my own brand. This is the Mad About Skin Intensive Rescue Balm. I use this, put a little of this on top, seal it all in, and like I say, it's just a really inexpensive way of elevating whatever lip balm you happen to be using, getting some next level results and plumping without having to have a separate product because you've already used your copper peptide that you have in your skincare collection. If you did, by the way, wanted to give this one a go, if you are placing an order for the copper peptide serum and you did fancy giving this a go because you want to do more than one of these hacks, then if you just ping an email across to our customer service team using the contact us section of the website, once you've placed your order, they can send you a sample of this if you did want to try it to see how that works. But yeah, works with any lip balm, but seal it in after you've applied your copper peptides and you'll just see such a difference. And like I say, it's free because you're using the products you already have. Now, application number 4 is alongside other peptides, doing something called peptide flooding. That's where you use multiple peptide serums back to back. If you are thinking about doing this peptide flooding method, hack, whatever you want to call it, make sure you're using a copper peptide in at least one step of it. That's because they offer something different to other peptides in terms of boosting anti-aging, the anti-inflammatory benefits, and the antioxidants. You really want to make sure you're harnessing those benefits using at least one copper peptide element as part of this skin flooding, this peptide flooding technique. If you have no idea what I'm on about, don't worry. I've actually covered this in a separate video, which I'll link up there. If you want to know more about peptide flooding, how it works, then check that video out and I'll explain it. It's not for everybody. I'd say it's one of those sort of like advanced skincare techniques that will work for some, but might not be to everyone's taste or the amount of time they want to spend on their skincare routine. But if you are doing peptide flooding, make sure at least one of the steps is a copper peptide, because you don't want to miss out on those benefits. And like I say, you probably already have it and are using it in your evening skincare routine. So just use it as part of that flooding routine on a morning. Then last, but by no means least, use your copper peptides on the neck. For many reasons, many reasons. First of all, it's just good practice to take your skincare down onto your neck. I don't always do this, sometimes I forget, but I'm trying to get into the habit of it. It's always good practice. But actually, the neck is something that has very specific skin concerns. First of all, if you're a guy, you'll be shaving this area. You'll probably have razor bumps, risk of rashes or sensitivity linked to shaving. Again, copper peptides, anti-inflammatory, they can reduce that down. They really do help. I always use copper peptide on my neck after shaving. It makes such a difference. Also though, whatever you're doing, we're probably looking down a lot more as a result of technology. We're on our phones, we might be on our iPads, you know, we look down a lot more than maybe we're supposed to. And this is something called tech neck. This is where you end up getting the lines and the creases because you created a fold by constant looking down like that. This is something that's just part of an everyday life, but if you use copper peptides on the neck, it'll reinforce the collagen there, minimize the impact of this tech neck. So whilst it won't eliminate it, it will definitely help to minimize the risk of this developing and help just protect the neck against some of that aging caused by our technology use. I can't see us putting our phones and our tablets down anytime soon, so kind of prevent some of that aging by association of using those style of products by using a copper peptide twice a day on that neck area. I'm trying to get better at this, taking my skincare right down to the neck. Definitely would recommend it. Like I say, it's a work in progress with me, so I want to pass that forward. It's definitely a great best practice habit to get into. So there you have it, guys. 5 ways to use your copper peptide for elevated results. You don't need to buy an entire new suite of copper peptide serums. Use the one you already have. This way you can get some extra benefits without spending any more of your additional coin. You might, when it comes to repurchasing your copper peptide, want to go for one of the cheaper, more affordable options. A, because there's some amazing ones out there. But B, if you're going to be using a little bit more product, it makes sense to go for a more inexpensive option to reduce the cost. But this will work with whatever copper peptide you happen to go for. And I just want to say at this point, thank you to each and every one of you for being part of the Bitter End crew, watching to the end of today's video. I did try and keep it snappy and to the point. I don't know, really. I'll look at the timestamp after filming this and see if I actually achieved that, but I do really appreciate you. And I'd love to know, do you currently use a copper peptide in your skincare routine? If you do, reach down and leave the blue heart emoji down in the comments section below. Leave me the blue heart emoji and let me know what your personal go-to favourite happens to be. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.